All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. Power! Season 6, the final season, of course, kicks off this Sunday. We were at Essence. We caught up with the Black Benjamin Button, Lorenz Tate, and Rotimi. Here is our conversation.
I'm glad Rotimi got his damn shirt on today.
You know what I'm saying? I'm happy he got his shirt. I'm glad you pointed that out. Because you know what I'm saying? I had to make sure that when he got into the sprinter van today, I said, because he just had his jewels on and all his tattoos. I said, man, put on the shirt. And all, he just said, all right, I'm going to throw this T-shirt on.
And y'all, he didn't walk out and like unbutton his shit. Now, he walked out all open and every damn thing. And I'm like, button that shit up. You know, when you're butterscotch, you have to do it for the ladies, but you have to do it for the ladies. Yes, ladies.
Right. They were like, button that shit up. It's cold. Yeah, it's gonna catch a cold.
That's how he does it, man. It's in the dead of winter. We're in New York filming. He steps out of the trailer with his whole. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
When you're sexy Nigerian butterscotch, you make decisions that, it's cool.
I can't wait till Dre get killed. I can't wait.
Listen, it's a great season that's coming up, season 6. My man Ro is incredible. No one can play Drake quite like he has. He's been incredible in all of the cast members. I'm so happy to be a part of it. I think that this season is probably the best one because we'll be able to get a chance to see who people really are, what they're about, and get in their minds and go on the road with them. And all of the worlds are coming together. And it's a beautifully, crafted season. I'm so happy.
I'm just surrounded by legends.
Oh, man, legendary.
Oh, look who roll up. Look at look at all fly. Look at you. Oh, cool. You know you cool. You know you cool. You no. They want to holler at you. Get over here. They want to holler at you.
This is legend.
How y'all doing?
Look at all smooth and everything.
Congratulations on the new movie. He's doing big things as well. Amen. It's so great to see you. Bless you, man.
It is wonderful to be seen.
Yes, 100%.
How you doing?
Always good to see you, baby.
Oh, always good to see you too.
You still big pimping.
Man, I'm so happy to see you on network television and scolding people and keeping them straight.
Well, I just got an email. I'll be on ABC this week in 2 weeks, so I'll be bringing the funk.
I'll be watching. All right, baby. Good to see you.
All right, good seeing you. So, not only we got power, first of all, before I go there, more people want your ass killed than J.R. Ewing.
That I'm doing my job.
He's doing his job.
That I'm doing my job. As an actor, man, when you can make people feel something, you've done something amazing. You know what I mean? He's been doing it for 25 years, so 30 years, 35 years,
30,
50 years. He don't age. He's actually 75 years old.
And matter of fact, you done messed up so much, they want to kill your ass too.
That's how it goes, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I feel like this. Either you're going to love us or you hate us, one or the other, and I'm cool with it. Don't have it in the middle. In the middle ain't it. So I'm happy to play one of the bad guys, man. And I got to say this. Thank you for doing what you were doing with the Frederick Douglass, the speeches that needed to be heard on 4th of July, the real deal from our perspective. So I appreciate you doing what you was doing, man.
I appreciate it, my brother.
Love.
Season 6 power.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Life Luxe Jazz is the experience of a lifetime, delivering top-notch music in an upscale destination. The week-long event is held at the Omnia Day Club Los Cabos, which is nestled on the Sea of Cortez in the celebrity playground of Los Cabos, Mexico. This is also a black experience. The Life Luxe Jazz experience offers the ultimate getaway for discerning jazz aficionados by pairing an upscale international destination with luxury accommodations, fine haute cuisine, top-shelf libations, meaning liquor, breathtaking golf, exhilarating spa, health and wellness options, and much more, while showcasing some of the biggest names in entertainment. The second annual Life Luxe Jazz experience continues to build upon its success and heritage with Jazzing Around Los Cabos, a celebratory expansion of accomplishing its goal of sharing all the finest the destination has to offer, including daytime excursions and many concerts, including the Spirit of Jazz Gospel Brunch and Jazz Sunset Cruise. Confirmed guests, comedian actor Mark Curry, Gerald Albright, Alex Bouillon, Raul Madon, Incognito, Pieces of a Dream, Kirk Whalum, Average White Band, Donnie McClurkin, Shalea, Roy Ayers, Tom Brown, Ronnie Laws, and Ernest Quarles. Folks, I'll be broadcasting Roland Martin Unfiltered from Los Cabos those 2 days. Go to lifeluxejazz.com, lifeluxejazz.com for more information. Would love to see y'all there. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. Hey fam, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. Oh, yes, Power is, of course, it is having its 6th and final season, debuting this weekend on Stars. And we were at Essence. We caught up with my man, Joseph Sikora, who plays Tommy. And he gave us some inside info on Power, which, of course, the final season premieres 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Here's our discussion. What's up, baby?
What's going on, Roland?
All good?
Fantastic. Even better now that I know that nobody can dress like this man. 6 years I've been seeing this guy be the best dressed man in all of New Orleans.
Somebody got to do it. Last season. It's going to be a hell of a last. Everything I keep hearing is going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. One of the things that makes it crazy is that people from the different worlds that we're not used to seeing interact with, because it's such an explosive season, people are forced to interact in ways that they never have before.
And one thing that this is the most spoiler probably I'm ever going to give out, and it's right here. Roland S. Martin.
Exclusive.
that when you see people doing really well this season, that's the time to pay really close attention.
Now, I got to ask you this here. I mean, obviously, this show, so many African Americans embrace it. Your life has been a little different being in the midst of these cats. The level of black love Tommy has gotten.
The level of black love Tommy has got. Well, don't forget the character. Well, myself, I grew up with black people who loved me, and I think that's lucky. I think that you could probably pretend. But I think that...
But I'm saying in real life, you're getting this, man.
You're getting it, but I've always gotten love from the black community as far as I knew. You know what I mean? Not all the black community. I'm not stupid. I realize that I'm a white guy in the midst of it. But this amount is, I take nothing short of, a badge of honor to be embraced by the community, to grow in that, to be a platform to shine a light on racial relations as best as I can, as you know, in a very, very, very limited way compared to you, your political prowess is, your political astuteness is uncomparable on social media, and we're really lucky as a nation to have voices like yours speaking so loudly at a time like this.
Well, man, I appreciate it. Good luck in season 6. Always good seeing you, baby.
Anytime.
He was a president at...
All right, y'all. Power. Final season premiere, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
All right, folks, back to that Roland unfiltered video in just one moment.
All right, folks, you heard me talk a lot about marijuanastock.org. Why? Because I want to keep you informed of investment opportunities that make sense. We've all watched the growth of the cannabis industry. A recent report by New Frontier Data estimates the global cannabis market at over $340 billion. Now, we know that marijuana legalization is sweeping the nation state by state. We also know that marijuana has a good cousin, the hemp plant, with a much higher concentration of CBD. That means hemp gives you all the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Until recently, hemp farming was practically legal in the U.S. and heavily regulated by the DEA. However, the 2018 Farm Bill recently passed in Congress, making it legal to grow hemp CBD in the U.S. has created one of the largest commodities worldwide. What do they need? Land to grow all of the plants. Now, here's an incredible investment opportunity, and that's where our good friends at 420 Real Estate come in. Their business model is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. Our friends at 420 Real Estate decided to do something special for the Roland Martin Unfiltered family. Originally, the minimum investment level was $500. Now you can invest as little as $200. That's right, $200 up to $10,000. Again, this is a $340 billion industry that is still growing. You can participate with as little as $200. To invest, go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org. Get in the game and be sure to get in the game now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.
Mark Howard, what's up, Frat?
What's up, Fratos?
Good seeing you, baby.
Look how we
Good seeing you.
Good
Yes,
to see
indeed.
you. Always
yes,
good to see you, bro.
Last season of Power, man.
So it's funny, the first time I sat down and talked to Roland, good people, the last time I talked to Roland, we were talking about, as it pertained to Power, we were coming out of the jail season, going into season 5.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ironic because at this point, that season's sort of become, I can't say the epicenter of the journey or the storyline, but the story takes place in 8 months when you think about it. It's 6.5 years now, 6.5 seasons, but it really, the genesis of it is, from whenever you first were introduced to this sociopath spectrum of a genius who also was a dreamer, and that being Ghost, and his brother in Tommy, played by Joseph Shakur. The first time you had a sight of these guys and the start of Truth as a nightclub, we're now only about 7 months from that point.
Wow.
So that's been the most interesting thing is if the jail season, Roland and I sat down and talked about, is the epicenter or sort of crux of where we go from there, anything could have happened. Well, we saw what the anything was.
Mm-hmm.
It was this Klay Thompson to Steph Curry taking a shot, that being Tommy, I'm making that analogous to Tommy and Ghost, and taking a shot at his best friend and brother in Ghost and trying to kill him. And obviously Angela, that character, taking the bullet. And so we now don't know what's happened with her. So season 6, man, I guess when you play out the 8 months that we're speaking about, you needed a lot of time to play out that final season. So we're giving y'all 15 episodes so that we have a little bit more time, a little bit more, I don't know, I guess some dirt on the plate so that you can dig your fingers through a little bit better than just giving you a 10-part season or whatever. Because it's crazy. Season 6 crazy.
If you look at your career and you talk about all the things you did before Power,
Man.
There are roles that come along that become career defining, even though there are things you could be doing in the future. If I think about Kerry Washington, she will always be known as Olivia Pope.
Always.
Richard Roundtree, we were on the red carpet the other night. Shaft. And he said, there was a long time when he said,
it was bothering him.
And he said, his daddy said, son,
embrace
shut
that.
the hell up.
Yeah.
He said, it's a whole bunch of people who have been acting, ain't never been known for nothing.
Nothing. I never
and
thought
he
about
said,
that.
and he had to stop himself, and he like, man, look, I've done other stuff. It was like, dude. So how does it feel for you where you look at where you go in your career, the reality that forever, you have people have locked in with you
after death.
and Ghost.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's just, that's what it is.
I think that it is a compliment, and I understand Shaft's father, Richard Roundtree, was a dear friend and a mentor of mine. Obviously, we worked together on Being Mary Jane, and special cat. Reminds me of my father, has always looked like my father. So I was part of that legion of folks, right? So it's an interesting moment for me to be able to answer that question, because, and you asking me that as Roland Martin, who has iconically become a brand in and of yourself and itself, as if our names are able to be made as an it versus the person. It's interesting for you to ask me that, because I thought about it. I'm like, I guess I'm a part of that group. I know I'm a part of the mob that made him Shaft. But then when I was working with him, I made him Richard. And so I guess maybe the better way for me to answer is the amalgamation of the two is what excites me, meaning I can forever be defined as that guy as long as you're open to all the other things that Omari has to offer. I'm good with it.
And not hate it, because I think
it did everything for me.
I've met some people, man, who, man, that's in the past.
But,
I'm like,
but Ghost is special though, so I get it. I get my big brother in Roland, and not the journalist, but the big brother in Roland who's known Omari for 15 years. I get, or maybe longer, I get you going, but it's special though. We never got to see a character that had all of those layers. They say three, and that being Jamie, James, and Ghost, but it's really like duplicitous and multi-layered at the level of perhaps being stated that you played 20 different guys in this guy.
You said psychotic and genius.
I mean, he was like, I would imagine that Tommy is more of the psychopathic spectrum. I asked Courtney years ago, I said, we got to a point where in reading whatever she was presenting that year, Roland, I looked at it and I said, sociopath? And she looked at me in a way of like, interesting. Obviously, she knows Omari is a bright guy, so I can't play Ghost if I wasn't bright, right, Roland? And you can't, it's like a Roland or a Dr. King even getting together and go, fits alpha. And people go, what is that, Roland? You go, he just fits alpha. He's literary. He's about words. We are. Scientists tend to be more geared toward Omega Psi Phi. Shout outs to Jesse Jackson and Shaq, who likes that. He likes those conversations with Shaq are about oftentimes the science of something. Like alphas are very literary, and Ghost was this poet, because Omari's a poet, who, if you take me as a poet and put it in that which Courtney and Curtis created, in which stars moved one thing that they were gonna say yay to and brought in our thing, and we made the network. We made it, bro. So when Roland points to me, he's like, oh, yeah, the show made it, and yeah, the crew made it. And yes, the crew stayed even later than you, who were there till 18 to 20 hours, but if they get the wrong Ghost, that's a frat brother and a brother going, yeah, but if you ain't, that shows Michael Jordan, then there's not 5 rings. So it speaks to the fact, because of your point about that, it does equally speak to the fact that when she made me not feel bad about asking sociopath, Courtney added to it spectrum, almost to not make me go to a place where if I believed him to be a sociopath, which I think Denzel's character was a lot in the movie. That's the movie I was watching when learning that Whitney Houston passed away, Safe House. Denzel's character was a sociopath, and he spoke on great length about the process of playing a sociopath.
But was still brilliant. And see,
which he nailed. He played it with a young Ryan Reynolds, right? Like, he nailed it. Safe House was one of my favorite. I think it's
Absolutely.
one of Denzel's underrated. And I remember I was watching it and then came out of it, and Derek Luke had hit me with the news that our dear Whitney, who we, was our castmate from Sparkle, had passed on. But when Courtney responds in that way of not so far saying sociopath, but going spectrum, she's doing due diligence to herself as a writer. You as a journalist know when you write a piece or when you're pitching a new show, it's your baby, Roland. So it's her baby. So I can't be, in the famous words of the character played by Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder, a full retard. Not full. So her point is, you're not fully a sociopath. And we want to stop the show if you become fully any one thing.
Because that's what
made Ghost special. He was never fully one thing. He was so many things.
And
that
the
if
problem
that's my
is,
nickname.
you hate him, and it's like, I can't fully hate him because I love this. I can't fully love this because he's still not doing right. And you got a chance, and we talked about this also earlier. To me, I believe that the greatest thing that Courtney, Curtis, you, the whole cast, Joseph, all of them did. This show was a slow burn.
Yeah, man.
This show was, I used this example the other day. I said, and it was interesting, we were talking about it. I said, Empire was a skillet. Power was a crock pot. Because, and again, for people, and y'all need to understand, I mean, I love television, I study it.
Break it down for them.
Empire comes out, it's hot. It's like a skillet. You put, pow, you pop into the skillet, and it's a quick meal.
Yeah.
What y'all did was, with a crock pot, it slowly is marinating.
That's right.
And marinating and it's building. Now, granted, 22 episodes and episodes of Power were different, but it's how, and it was just like the steady build,
So two things.
steady build. And that's why now people are like, what, the last one?
Yeah.
Because it's just been the steady. It's not like you hit it, then you drop.
But you know what's interesting about that is you made my answer that I'm okay with being called my shaft. Denzel was lucky in the sense that, take lucky out, Omari, right? Don't say lucky, because that would denote that Richard Roundtree's not lucky that he got shafted, and that's your whole point in asking it. So let me take that away. Denzel never had to contend with being called one character name.
Right.
Because he was able to do these characters that Denzel just happened to be bigger than the character. Not that he's bigger than Malcolm X, but he had done so much work, even in Stephen Biko and Cry Freedom, even in shout outs to what Spike was able to do with him.
Oh, My Brother Blues.
And Bleak Gilliam.
And oh my goodness.
He did so much work that we allowed him to be so many different things that in reality, if it's like watching a tennis match and your head is going back and forth, Roland, we had to contend with looking at Denzel's work left and right at the rapidity in which he was doing it. For Shaft, Richard played that character and it went.
But everybody forgot.
But when you think about, I know
that's the other key.
It was about 4 of them.
Yeah.
But when you think about Ghost, and there's not 4 of them,
right?
We know that this will be it. Honestly, Roland, you just gave me one of the greatest compliments ever, because you're saying Denzel threw us 20 characters, mostly on film, outside of his time on St. Elsewhere.
Yep.
Mostly on film. Idris did it on Stringer Bell, right? Avon Barksdale, played by Wood Harris. All of these dear friends of mine played these incredible roles. Idris Stringer Bell was gone pretty quick, right? Then Idris goes off to film and he does his thing. Omari's played Ghost for 6.5 seasons. Roland will remind the world, Omari did 7 movies while playing Ghost. It's not going to eliminate people calling him Ghost.
Precisely.
He's done music left and right. Well, maybe the music will allow for a different side of Omari to be seen.
Right.
But he is Ghost. When you think about that level of a compliment, what you're saying is you didn't get a part 2, 3, or 4 with Ghost. You gave us 6.5 years of a slow burn. Curtis would be proud of you saying that, because he was the one that said, we're slowly going to put this thing out. We don't want to just go, and it be done. And he knows a little something about business, and the delivery is everything. So if you deliver a slow burn product, you're allowing for your fan base to be a part of the call sheet. The fan base is a cast member. They get to go, I'm slowly growing with this character.
And I'm in it, and I'm...
So by the time you think about Omari and his completion on that run, or if I left everything on the court in basketball terms, since we're right here, you know, during the NBA playoffs, or at its end now. At the end of the day, Roland, I left so much on the court, but with a, as you said, crock-potted, non-scheme, but an actual Shakespeare with colors that look like Roland Martin, as Courtney, myself, and Curtis, and Naturi, and the Latin diaspora, which we cheat New York if we don't include that.
Absolutely.
And the Italian diaspora, which we cheat New York if we don't include that. And yet, you know me more than anybody, Roland, I played the guy to be colorless. I'm just a very proud black man playing him.
Right.
So there's not the same reality in a Madoff. Madoff is a lot like Ghost. Sociopath, dreaming of all things, narcissistic at times. I'm sure he was lovely at times as a father to his kids, and at times not. So when you think about it, some of our greatest figurines that we study historically have been people that really need to be put in the corner and put on timeout because they're crazy in a negative way. But then we root for them. So, you know, we just never had a character on modern TV as brown people that looked like Omari playing 30,000 pounds of bigness. So if that comes with Ghost as the nickname I'll forever be tagged with, bro, that's all right. Especially if Omari is, as you know, equally as big as the character was big. That's not a bad nickname to be tagged.
Not at all.
I don't know what Jaleel White feels about Urkel, but Ghost is definitely not that. I'm not being called Urkel, which is relegated to that of comedy, even if the kid is sweet and he's the next door neighbor. That's sort of the balancer between the families on that show that he was a part of, Family Matters. But Ghost, man, he made families matter, to be poetic. This dude brought families together on Sunday as a killer.
And on the business side.
On the business
this
side.
Is the
He taught so
This is the thing I
much.
keep trying to explain to people. And again, let me take it further. I was watching Stars when Boss came on.
Which was dope.
Loved it.
Which was dope.
I worked in Chicago.
And Kelsey Grammer is dope. You know Kelsey,
Two
and Kelsey
seasons,
is dope.
I got both of them on DVD. But the reality is, this show, you throw in Survivor's Remorse, which
followed us at one point too. Right.
Made the whole network. What people identify now with Stars.
Yeah, I definitely have been told that, you know, Omar, you went from the face of the show, obviously, to the face of the entire network.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
Which is huge.
Let's talk about black love. And I don't think people really understand it. Share your thoughts about when you are going through airports, shoe shine, going through a convenience store, going to a restaurant, security guards, parking lot attendants. When you get that black love, I mean, I know
it's a whole different thing,
bruh. It's hard to put in words, but for you, just how does it feel when you get it?
It feels like, in the way that the facial expression, Roland, that you have and had at the onset of your question 15 seconds ago, but still have on your face a smile. That's the specified love that is the love that lifts you, that you drive away from in the car that picked you up at the airport that you're talking about, where you've signed, well, it's not autographs anymore.
Selfies.
Where you've signed 150 pictures at the airport of destination, but at the airport that you started out, you did 150. And obviously in that is a whole bunch of people that aren't black, especially the way that my characters have been played, what I brought to them, and what the journey has been. But when it's the black person, the one that would make it where you're smiling when you ask about it, then if Roland's smiling and ask about it, you mean it's those of us, as I'm looking out to people who perhaps don't look like Roland and I, but for the most part do, and watching this interview, it's you guys saying, I rock with you, O. I really do. Or I rock with you, Ghost. After a while, you know, just the tonality of the phrase that precedes Ghost, I rock with you.
That's right.
The notes that you rock with me pretty much on all the things that I do. Whether it's talking to Roland, whether it's working right here in Miami and Dade County and Broward, respectively, with the Omari Hardwick Blue Apple Poetry Network, working with kids. Whether it's the podcast that I now have, whether it's prior characters or characters, as Roland said, subsequently will follow Ghost. When you rock with me, Different kind of love.
And man,
and so I've ironically learned that the love includes those that don't necessarily rock with you. So that's what I want to answer to. I've gotten to a place, Roland, where maybe the Christian in me has been able to corroborate, because I'm such a street kid, but I'm very Christian and I'm educated, which is why Ghost was what he was. I have equally learned that black love, first and foremost, is most exemplified when the black person who's giving me the love loves themselves. When they love themselves, bro, they're the love that made you ask me the question with a smile on your face. When they don't love themselves, I have learned in my journey, which is quite bountiful at this point and long, I've learned that they equally love me. They just haven't given themselves permission to love themselves. And so it comes out in these forms we call hate, or we call, you know, minimizing one and making one only relegated to one character or what have you. But I think it's just because they haven't figured out, I know it's just because they haven't figured out, I don't think, I know it, that they haven't figured out how to love themselves. So equally, I've learned to embrace when the love is not necessarily love from my own people. Like, they just aren't at a place where understanding that thing, as you said, people just don't get it. I equally make it all joy on them. Like, even if you're hating on me, it's like one day you'll get it. Like, those of us that are in Omari's position or in Roland's position who really love us as a people, you can't help but to one day figure it out in a way of, it's hard to not love them because they love us.
There you go.
I love our people so much that it's really...
It's like I had a dude.
I'm a black man in America who was raised by beautiful black families, so I can love everybody because I love me.
Had a dude who told me,
you know
he was
what I mean?
like, man, the street don't rock with you. And I started laughing.
Did he say that to you?
Brother, I started laughing. I said, brother, let me explain something to you. I just started laughing. We were in National Harbor. I'm walking by leaving. Brother, oh my God, Roland Martin. Oh my God, dude, I fucks with you. He said, no, you don't understand. Tell my girl.
Which is the street way of saying I rock with you.
He's like, my girl will tell you. He said, bro, let me tell you something. Anybody mess with you, I got you. And I was like, oh, I appreciate that. He said,
he meant like,
he went. Now I'm thinking he's about to fight. My man pulls his shirt up.
Wow.
The middle of his chest, you see all the scar tissue. His chest had been cracked open. He had been shot. He had been on the operating table. He went, no. Wow. Anybody fucks with you.
Wow.
I got you. And I was like,
got it.
Got it. And I tell people that.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Because I've had prisoners.
That's a great story.
I've had prisoners say, dude, I watch your show, you got me through prison.
Yeah.
And so,
but you know what, though,
talk about that.
But you know what, though? For any leader of any religion, and you and I know we both are, and it's ironic because that book to your left says religious. Does it not, Roland? It says religious.
Yes, it does.
It also says restless next to it. Restless ambition.
Restless ambition.
So the reality is, anybody who is of power has restless ambition. It never stops. And it's not about you sitting down and talking to somebody who doesn't contain or possess or uphold your religious beliefs. It's about someone knowing there is a higher power over them.
That's right.
The reality is all of those different embodiments of leaders in all respective religions, traditional religions, they all rock with sometimes killers. And the lowest common denominator of the brown or the ethnic world that they come from or the minority existence that they walk around in, that doesn't denote killers. But they rock with either killers or the lowest common denominator who might go, nah, I got you for real, and I've been there. Doesn't mean that that brother's not now at the highest numerator reality. At one point, he was at a lower common denominator of brother, been shot, been to jail, what have you. Sometimes, bro, that's the greatest compliment in the world.
Dude.
Because they are the ones that are thoroughly able to sift you out as to how real you are.
Quickly.
It's like a kindergartner who can call out a teacher who substitutes for that one day. The kindergarten's only 5, but they can say, nah, I'm gonna run all over this teacher. So when they rock with you, which I often have realized is the greatest compliment to me, it's sometimes the lower common denominator of our people that fucks with the most.
There you go. And what blew me away is that,
which is why Ghost was so big.
He wasn't the first prisoner. I've had
it's true.
multiple cats.
Of course.
I've had dude came to me. He said, "Roland, my limo driver who started his own company. He said spent 20 years in prison. He said, bruh, he said the prison decided to take TV One off. He said they led a prison revolt because they said, no, we got to watch Roland show in the morning.
Yeah.
And so when
it's medicine. We don't do these things for. I never played Ghost for. I never did that, Roland. I never was able to do that. That's maybe why he's so. It's the first time I've said it on an interview. I've said it to friends. I might have said it to my security guard on the way over here. I said it. I did say to him, but I'm an activist. So you can't put T.I., who one time worked in the trap house, but he's an activist. His nature was an activist. His nurture made it where he had to work in the trap. But his nature is that of an activism. So you can't put his activism in music and not have it activate something.
Right.
You can't make an activist who's a poet play Ghost, but a trained actor, who's trained by the street as well. The amalgamation makes the frenzy of Sunday night, where you might love Tommy, you might love Leela, Angela, you might love Notorious Tasha, but the people that rocked out with Ghost, they were seeing something that you and I both share in common, which is I was activating conversation by playing Ghost. It wasn't for me to play a character to jack off to and show my kids for the remainder of my life on earth with them. Nah, it was for people to go, yo, that's a conversation piece. Check in with myself when I brush my teeth in the morning. Where do I stand based on the work that O did with Ghost? It was an outreach. Ghost was, I paid bills with it. And I made it where Curtis and Courtney are able to not only have me say that I changed their lives, that I say to them that they changed my life. Equally, I perhaps aided their life, even though they were bigger than I was. She wasn't, but obviously Curtis was. But equally, man, at the end of the day, I did it for people that look like us. And we got a lot of us's that are in jail. So if you can relate to Ghost, I don't know, 5 minutes away from being incarcerated, which he's always 5 minutes away from incarceration, then you're sitting in jail one day mad that TV One is off because Roland can't be watched, and you're equally mad when the Sunday night in the jail doesn't show Power, because you now have a relatable reality. You can have conversation without having conversation with Omari. I'm not even there, but if my character is on TV in your cell, I'm kind of there.
There you go.
Which is fucking powerful, bro. That's powerful. That's a gift from God.
So they're giving me the rap signal, so I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna play off of what you just said over here. Restless Ambition, that book that's sitting right there, which I never even seen the book before.
That's crazy.
How do you, for the person sitting out there, how do you explain to them to be happy and content where you are, but still have restful ambition?
You gotta get that show going, bro. You gotta get that show going.
I'm working on it.
Roland? I mean that.
On the Shield, bro. I'm trying to make it happen.
All right, on the Shield, for real.
I'm trying to make it happen.
All right. It's a show that's gonna come to y'all that's created by Roland, and y'all gonna see what I meant when I just gave that little. So, because it's such a great question is what I'm getting at. It's really a great question. Because we do teach that it's important to find contentment and to find satisfaction. But we know that we come from a people that have a poverty mentality, and what that means for all of you young kids listening is getting on first base and marrying the local girl or local boy that you were raised with and having a safe job and going to college and at least getting to those are safety realities that we are not only born into, but it's put on us every day. You're not necessarily promoted as a brown youth to dream, to be of ambition. You are only promoted to get on first base, and if it's analogous to baseball, stay there. Don't try to steal second base, and for damn sure, don't even think about third base. Stay on first base.
And we forget even trying to own a stadium.
You can't own a stadium at all. So I think for me, Roland, I found out very early in the career that it was that of a slave mentality and earned earnestly, meaning that, it's a part of our makeup. So I don't say it in a negative connotation. It is what it is. We were raised in this for 400 some years in this country. We were raised in the reality that that which is minimal is us. That which is maximum doesn't look like us. So I think I came in very early realizing that from Sammy Davis Jr. to what I could be one day, Sidney Poitier in the middle, and Bill Russell in the middle while making $3 per basketball game, 11 rings, coach one of those years, and would march with Martin and Malcolm after those games. And the hip-hop greats who curated hip-hop that the young kids who do hip-hop now are benefiting from. Everybody from that spectrum, they were allowed to entertain in front of the camera. I think really early on, man, maybe the alpha in me, Roland, understood that if I relegate myself to simply that, then that is being someone, and it does denote slavery mentality a bit, who is content and happy with the world not just saying ghost when I walk by, but maybe screaming a couple other characters that they might connect with, Shabu from Next Day Air, Free from Gridiron Gang, all the shit where I'm a bad guy, because being bad connects to people. We all have the reality of good angel, bad angel. And it's fun to be bad. It's harder to be good, or to maintain being good. So even if they're yelling that out for characters played in front of the camera, Roland. It's not me looking at you and going, Roland, make sure you produce that project that you said you're gonna do. I'm working on it though. Well, equally what happened for me is I realized that the restless ambition did not state to God that I don't feel blessed. Or that I'm not satisfied. Or that I'm not okay. Or that I don't think Brave and Nova are eating well enough. Or that I don't hear the family members who actually don't just have a dream, but have plans to execute it, so I might invest in their dreams. No, I hear it all, and I count it all joy. And you and I being from the South, we get this, but at the end of the middle of the country, but at the end of the day, Roland, God would look at me like, man, I didn't give you all of those wits and smarts about yourself to stop at
first base,
having a couple people yell at you while you make it to first base and go, yeah. And it is relative. Because of Roland and Omari's first base might not be a lot of the people that are listening to this interview's first base. Their first base might feel like home plate and they never really left. So it's relative, but my first base, to Roland's point, my first base couldn't have just been something where people went, man, he's good. That brother's good. And I always wanted people that looked like me to at least got I don't know, to at least got a bit of permission from an Omari who said, I'm a still second base, I'm gonna go to third, I'm gonna come back over here, I'm gonna attempt to own the stadium. Attempt is operative, but hey, maybe I'll wipe out the word attempt and add, I'm gonna own the stadium. And you know, it's a very difficult thing as a black American to figure that out. Nipsey Hussle's whole thing was, I'm trying to own some shit and bring it back to our neighborhood. But equally make it as viable as the properties owned by people that don't look like me and the people from my neighborhood. But how do I, and God bless that 33-year-old young man for executing a lot of those plans. But equally Nipsey knew at the end of the day, man, I can't be a slave to my own master. I gotta be a master to my master. That's it. I mean, Invictus says it best. You and I learned that poem for a reason. The master of one's own fate. So I think
the captain of my soul.
That's it, bro. So restless ambition for me would be simply staying. I'm alive. Some of those greats, like a Puffy, says, man, you can sleep when you die. So as long as I'm alive, why would I kind of? Because my son and my daughter, Roland, they're always looking up and saying, "Did Papa take a break yet?" Man, if Papa ain't taking a break, then we can't take a break.
There you go.
So I think that's how I take it on. But I'm so thankful for God that I even get an opportunity for Roland to ask me that. The fact that you care about what I have to say, like people don't, because of social media, everybody thinks they got a microphone. And that they're Roland Martin. Roland Martin has tried and tribulated for eons, becoming as mastered a craftsman as you are at holding court with people that are equal your brain. Man, that takes a lot. So I never forget about the journey on the way to getting to your table and for my big brain to rock with yours. So I see the journey in slow motion. But I definitely have a ticking clock that won't ever stop.
That's right.
I definitely do, bro.
Well, I would say this, purpose of the cameras, what I also appreciate is that you always taking time. You made it clear. Yo, y'all want me to interview all these other major shows? No, he gonna get time, and that's important. It's important because I said the same thing to Kerry Washington, because there's a lot of people who you could talk to them early on, and as they go up, no, I ain't got time. But the key is also saying, no, it's the connection. And saying, no, all along the way, as you said, I'm going to rock with the folks who always rock with me.
Roland, you always rock with me. When I was coming off of Saved, where I played number 2 to Tom Everett Scott, that's before Dark Blue. That's after Gridiron Gang, during Guardian with Kevin Costner. Like, bro, That's Omari, who's Michael B. Jordan's present age. You've been rocking with me for so long. It's like Roland cared. So it's the same person that goes, you remembered me, the fan that says, you remembered me, and I go, in the airport, you tripped over a cord to get to me to take a picture.
There you go.
You tripped over the cord. A lot of people would have remained in the embarrassment and gone, I'm good. You tripped, and then you got up like a football player and and you scored.
Right.
You scored. Like I took the picture with you. How could I forget you? I might not nail your name, but I'm almost pretty good with nailing the person's name.
And see, what I do is when somebody goes, you remember me? And I go, no. And they go, my wife always tells me, she's like, Roland, she said, make them feel good. I said, no. Because what you just said, I said, no. Because when I actually remember.
Yeah.
I said, I can't front.
That's right.
I said, but when I actually remember.
Then it'll be more genuine.
Right. I said, but if I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
But when I say, no. You had this on.
So you know what the irony is that?
And you same thing. You walk this way. They were like, damn, you remember all that? I said, I told you.
Like a lasting impression.
Because I told you I remember.
I tell young cats all the time, I say, I got zero problems with taking a picture. If I'm with the family, it's family time. But when I'm alone, I take 9,000. My issue is they forget often to say, I'm so-and-so. Pleasure to meet you.
There you go.
I like your work so much. Do you mind if I get a picture?
There you go.
Like it's reciprocity.
It's
I
not,
don't owe you a picture if you don't give me something.
Right.
You mean me giving you my name is something? Absolutely. Now I have something of your lineage. Your grandparents made your parents, who then gave you a name when they made you. Give me that.
Right.
Let me have something.
Right. Just say hi.
They don't care that we need something, but we do need something. Hi is good, bro. Hi means that you acknowledge that I wasn't the lion at the zoo.
And what I do with the young brothers
like
that I know,
deep.
the people about to drop, they're like, I'm about to cut them. I make the young brothers, I will not take a photo unless they smile.
That's true. I don't take off the shades.
I tell them.
I'm big on the shades.
We don't take prison photos.
I done had some brothers that keep the shades on. I'm like, I can't see your soul, bro.
You
gotta
gotta
take
smile.
your shades off.
I said, we ain't taking the photo.
That's dope.
Because guess what? Because most of them being raised, you gotta be hard. I said, no. You can smile in the photo.
No. And you can say you like a brother. Like
Pratt?
there's no problem with it. Always be there for you,
Always good,
bro.
baby. I
Always
appreciate
be there
it.
for you, bro.
Good luck in
Always.
everything that's next.
Thank you, bro. Same to you.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna mess with you.
I told you. I'm on it.
All right.
I'm on it.
All right, done. Peace, y'all.
You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it.
Hey everybody, this is your man Fred Hammond, and you're watching Roland Martin, my man, Unfiltered.
Hi, this is Essence Atkins, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Hey yo, Peace World, what's going on? It's the Love King of R&B, Raheem Devon, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Hi, my name is Brescia Webb, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered. Ow. Well, I like a nice filter usually, but we can be unfiltered.
What's going on? This is Tobias Trevelyan, and if you're ready, you are listening to and you are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
What's up? I'm Lance Gross, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Hi, this is Cheryl Lee Ralph, and you are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, could it be any other way? Really? It's Roland Martin.
You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Hey fam, want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered, the blackest show on all of digital, cable, and broadcast. Check out our audio podcast. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Press play.